Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit is happy here, back again with Attack on Titan Season 4. We are on episode 22, and in the last episode, shit just got real. The rumbling has actually begun. The walls are no more. I mean, how are we here? God, how are we here? I don't know where we go from here. I really don't. Because I think Eren's just going to go and not stop. I mean, fucking hell. The conflict, I don't know, where it's going to come from next, you know? We've still got like things in the air that like Hanji and Levi, you know what I mean? We obviously haven't seen them since the very first episode, coming back. And you know you've got the all of the colossal titans obviously following Eren, who now looks fucking. I mean, he's huge, but he's just a massive fucking rib cage. By looks of it. He's connected up to that fucking weird ancient being thing, and we found out all of the, where it all started, how it all came to be, where the Eldians actually came from, and how the Titans were formed. And it was insane. It was tragic. The way that Ymir was basically being a slave all of her life to the Eldians, and that we learned that the Eldians were essentially the original destroyers of the civilizations. Those stories weren't just stories. That actually is the way that it was, because the original King Fritz was a dick. So yeah, fucking absolutely insane. So now it's I don't know. I don't know where we go from here. I don't know what fucking what's going to happen. Are you going to get Mikasa and Armin with fucking Peak and going what do we do now? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know, man. I really don't know. But I thought it was really cool. Eren had communicated to all of the subjects of Ymir. He's able to talk to the Eldians and whatnot, and he basically forwarded his plan. He says basically nothing's going to stop them from coming to attack us, even if we take out everyone at the global assembly. He says so he's just not going to stop, and he's just going to keep going until everyone's dead. So it's just mad, man. And that's the thing, is it's a weird dilemma. Because if he does do that, if he ends up going through with it all, then the original King Fritz, who was a dick, gets his way. And you don't really want that. But the thing is that Eren's not doing it for him. He's doing it for the fact that he just loves his, he loves his people. So it's crazy. But I don't know. I don't think we really need to talk about anything else. I think we're just going to get into this, because I'm just anxious to get in and just see what happens now. So yeah, we are going to get in episode 22. As always, a link to the full length is in the description below. So if you do want to watch this episode, the full length reaction to this episode in full, of course that's what full length means, then the option is there for you in the description below. But yeah, nothing else to talk about, so we are going to get in episode 22, see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. What an event. Everything leading up to this moment. Thaw. Not the one with the hammer. Oh yeah, I didn't even think. He's able to communicate with them, who are so far away as well. So they know he's coming. Oh my god. It's ominous. He could just... I think he's just knocked out. Oh man, look at that.
壁外人類を皆殺しにするつもりとは思わなかった。海の外の連中が一番恐れていたことが 起きちまった俺たちを悪魔だと決めつけて皆殺しにしようとしたばかりに外の連中が招いた結果であって
He's trying to force himself to be happy with it.
できなかった。
これは度が過ぎている。前代未聞の大虐殺だ。
Yeah, Om's never going to be accepting of this.
止めるかエレンを。エレンは俺たちを守るために壁外人類を犠牲にして
The choice, you know, it's like it.
大虐殺の恩恵を受けるのは俺たちだ。
お前らが大事だからだ。他の誰よりも。
It's right. Like, what kind of choice is it? You know, like it's either them or us. That's basically what the choice is.
巨人が
Oh fucking
戦
hell!
っている。なあ、エレンは始祖を掌握したなら巨人も全て制御できるはずじゃ。
Is
だが仲間を食ってるだろう。加勢するぞ。
he?
なんでじゃん。その子をどうする。
個人化させられた誰かに食わせれば一人救える。例えばピクシスシル。
いや、母ちゃんだ。ラガコ村の母ちゃん。
Oh my god!
ジークの話によると、その子は戦士候補生で、ライナーら戦士隊の弟分だ。だから
俺の母ちゃんはどうでもいいってことか。俺がどう思ってあの母ちゃんがいる村に帰り続けたか、お前には分かんねえってのかよ。
Fucking hell! I don't know. Can Eren not? Oh my god, Connie! He's taking him on his own. Jesus!
まずいぞ。この砦も壊される。外の兵士は全滅か。
どうしてジークは巨人を制してないの。
It's like back in season 1 when they were all trapped inside the fort. Oh my god, it is. Yes, but he's Sasha's family. Shit! Oh, that's fucking. Shit! It's what's his face? I keep forgetting his name. Ah, fucking damn it! Just get up and run somewhere, please! Gabby. Is it Gabby? It's gotta be. Yes. Right. Ah. Boom. Woo. Damn. Yeah, the comparisons between Gabby and Sasha there. There we go. She made up. She made up for it. Bloody hell.
違います。私たちは厩舎で一緒に暮らす家族です。かや、みんな、なんで私をかばったの。そっちこそなんで私を助けたの。
If only the world would be willing to.
あなたを殺そうとした。私、悪魔なんでしょう。私は人を何人も殺した。褒めてもらうために、それが私の悪魔。
そいつは俺の中にもいる。カヤの中にも誰の中にもみんなの中に悪魔がいるから世界はこうなっちまったんだ。
Oh my god. He's back. Even after those fuckers beat the living shit out of him. What a good guy. I love all the clear, like, you know, we're basically going back in time with all of the OSTs and stuff, and it's like, all of it is so similar, you know? Cool. It's so like earlier Attack on Titan, it's great. Ah, it's fucking Pixis. Look at him, he's silly. He's even got his tash still.
行くぞ。
司令、ここまで僕たちを導いてくれたのは
Yeah.
ゆっくりとお休みください。
Bye, Pixis. Oh! Fucking hell. Wow. Decimated. What a cool sequence. Still walking.
マーレ兵はほぼ全滅して無垢の巨人はもういない。
エレンは今何をしている？
見ての通りだ。
だがくたばるわけにはいかねえだろう。エルディア帝国が復活するって瞬間なのに。イエレナ、義勇兵を集めろ。全員拘束する。
I wonder, yeah, that's the thing. Like, where's Zeke and whatnot, you know?
君はなぜここに？
信じてもう争う気はないの。
I think Connie could be any.
そしたら私たちはどこかに消えるから。
I don't know if they would just kill him off there. I mean, that'd be mad if they did. It'd be crazy.
巨人の母親に食べさせるためにさらわれたって。
She's still just on the roof, just still like
4年間コニーは
stuck in the
お母
house.
さんの様子を見守り続けた。
ごめんなさい。ねえ、エレン・イエーガーならコニーのお母さんを人に戻せるんじゃないの？始祖の巨人は何でもできるはずでしょ。
It's not how it works.
そんなことしなくたっていいじゃない。世界中の軍事施設を攻撃するだけじゃダメなのって聞いてみてよ。ライダーの鎧だって剥がしたんだからできるはずなのに。
鎧の巨人の硬質化が解かれたのはいつ、どのタイミングで？
So Eren actually did that. Oh, cause it. Oh my. So it undid, yeah, because obviously that's what his Hardening's made out of. And oh, fucking hell! No way! She's here! Oh, shit! Oh my god, Annie! Shit! I completely forgot! Wow. Oh god. Shit. Oh my god, it's crazy. This episode to me was like almost like a reminder of like what earlier AOT was. You know, like there was so many sort of like similar situations, and you know that things so similar but like so different because of obviously everything that's happening right now. But like everything. I mean, the first thing I wrote, which I think was actually in the last episode as well, but I didn't get around to talking about, was the like the original King Fritz and Amir is almost exactly like comparable to Eren and Historia, you know. Obviously Historia being pregnant, Eren going out to basically destroy the world, which is, you know, in the original King Fritz, you know, basically it's his will to do that kind of thing. So it's comparable there. You've got, you know, Gabby turning up to save Kaya, similar to Sasha. You've got them all being trapped in the fort, being surrounded by Titans. And then you have that sort of sequence, like where they're all like on the outside, and they do like a similar sort of rotation shot, similar to what they did when they were sort of like on the inside in the basement with like all of their rifles and stuff. Absolutely amazing, like all of these callbacks to previous, like you know, I mean they obviously called back to with Pixis now is officially that's it, he's gone. I mean I never thought that he would ever, you know, come back after being made a Titan. You know, it didn't seem like he would end up being a Titan shifter. I mean, that would be mad. But yeah, he's officially gone, and Armin basically saying, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think if you think about it, like looking back, that the only reason that this sort of story ever continued on past episode 9, I think, was because Pixis was the only one to actually stick up for like Eren, Armin, and Mikasa, right? Like he was the one that basically like stopped that one crazy fucking sergeant or whatever who was wanting to kill him. Basically came in and says, look, You know what I mean? Like, clearly he was on our side. Let's look at this rationally. And then gave them a mission for Eren to actually help out and, like, you know, place the massive boulder in front of the hole. And he did so, and then because of that, they were able to kind of move forward, and Eren was able to basically, you know, like, and they ended up, we end up here now. But yeah, like, everything that, it all sort of kind of transpired, I guess, with Pixar doing that. But, yeah, so he's officially gone. Niall's gone. I can never remember Niall's name, like, in the midst of things happening. I always have to kind of like take a minute and just think about it, but obviously I can't do that in the middle of reaction. But it was Niall that was after Kaya, right? And then Gabby took him out. And yeah, that totally makes sense. It means that, you know, it's a time for her to basically, you know, make up for the you know, the killing of Sasha essentially, and therefore, like, Kaya is now, you know, like, she doesn't take on that sort of like rage and hatred that is sort of like this constant back and forth of like revenge and everything that, you know. And I mean, I said during the reaction, like, at that point, that like, if only the world could see it as such, you know, but they can't. And that is the reason why we're at this predicament, this sort of like where it's not really a choice to be made. It's either the genocide. It's the genocide of the Eldians, or it's the genocide of the whole world. Like, there is, you know what I mean, everyone else. It's like, you know what I mean. It's not even a choice. So it's yeah, crazy. The fucking, honestly, props to Mappa in the show. Props to Mappa. Like, I loved the sort of like the aesthetic of this episode so much, because as anything is happening, you can always see the, like, all of the colossals just like walking, you know what I mean, like past and on their way. It's such a cool, the imagery is amazing of that. It's so well done, and I feel like extra effort was made to just make it, like, you know what I mean, just to, like, the animation itself was, like I said, it's very much alike to previous Attack on Titan, you know what I mean, like specifically like season 1. It's very much like that. Another reason why it's comparable, like, we go back to early like such early stuff, like you have, you know, the whole thing with Falco, and Connie's like, he's like, I'm gonna feed him to my mother. Like, I didn't even, like, yeah, like, so many things, just like, yeah, it makes sense that he kind of would. I mean, Connie had kind of given up anyway, like, in a way. Like, he was just like, I'm just sick of all of this shit, you know what I mean? And it's like, I have a chance here to get my mother back. And that Titan, Connie's mother, has been lying in that house for 4 years, just like that, turtled. But it makes sense for him personally, and it's kind of like, it's crazy that, like, at a point, like, you know what I mean, like, with this show, it's always like, fucking hell, man, like, I can't say that this is a wrong choice for him, because it makes sense, you know. And I mean, even, like, you know, to a degree, you had, until Armin and Mikasa actually met up with, like, sort of Gabby at the end there, they'd kind of, you know, just allowed Connie to kind of, you know, at that point you can probably tell, like, it's just like, well, you know, okay, that's gonna happen. We can't really stop them, because they all stopped to obviously help out at the fort. So it's kind of like, in their mind, that it's like, okay, I guess that's Connie's choice, and he's made it, and okay, fine. And it's kind of like an episode of characters kind of sort of trying to convince themselves to accept what's happening. I did say, like, obviously at the end of the last episode, that I was interested to see how the other members of the crew would think about what's going on. And Jean was like, where I said that he would be more sort of in line with Armin's thinking, and like, well, you can't, like, let him just destroy the whole world. that's crazy. That's overboard. But Jean, I actually, like, you know, he's talking himself through it and almost convincing himself to accept that this is the choice that is, like, it's kind of like it's either us or them, and it's, you know, and they all sat there and realized that what Eren was doing is essentially for them, and it's like, how do you stop him after hearing that? You know, it's like, because it's not like it's just Eren that cares about these guys. You've got them that care about each other. They wouldn't want the world coming at them either, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's an interesting dilemma that the character, it's going to be interesting to see how they go forward. I mean, I always suspected that, you know, Armin would have been the one that was like the genocide of the whole world. That's because that's not Armin, is it? It's not. It never has been. Connie, I think we obviously didn't get to really get his view on the whole thing. I think he was just I think in terms of everything happening with sort of Eren and everything like that, I think he's just kind of like, let it be, whatever happens happens. And he only had one thing on his mind from then. It was like, I know, you know, I basically get to have my mother back, and you know, that's what he's doing. It's kind of crazy. I mean, I know that everything is serious at this point. Like, it's not like, you know, there's no real room for like, you know, for like funny scenes, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it is crazy just to see that change, and it's warranted as well because of all of the shit that's gone on. It is warranted that, you know, Connie used to be the sort of like light-hearted, jokey one that, you know. But it's like once Sasha died, that was it, wasn't it? It was like it's kind of like his heart was sort of like torn, because he always said it's like they were like sort of like two peas, like one half of each other, you know. And it's, you know, it's crazy. I can't believe we've got to this point, man. I love the look of this show. Oh god, it's such a great image. So yeah, Annie's back. Annie's back. Oh man, she's gonna get a shock. She's gonna get a shock. Oh, all of the stuff that she has missed. I mean, it's how are you gonna explain it to her? I wonder, you know, I do wonder if, when Eren was talking to all the subjects of Ymir, right? Does that technically not mean that I would think that Annie would be able to hear that as well? But then it'll be like, you know, like she's been out of commission for so long, probably just. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if she has any like sensory kind of, you know, like any sense that really at all when she's in there. But the coordinate and everything like that would bypass it. You would assume, like, it wouldn't just block it out. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I really don't think so. But if that is the case, then we'll know next episode, I imagine. Because then Annie will be like, yeah, I heard. But then, like, even then, if she didn't have anything up until that point, then all of a sudden you've got Eren talking to her, basically saying, yeah, I'm basically going to trample the whole world. And she'd probably do, what the fuck? Eh? But what a way to, like, introduce her back into the show. Because, yeah, I fucking forgot about her. There's so much going on that it's like all of a sudden it's like, fuck, yeah, of course. But like, they introduce like little sly sort of nods to, like, you know, the Jaw Titan, for example, is the one that can get through hardening, and it's like, oh well, you know, I guess that's the way that they're going to get Annie out, and then it's this whole thing of Eren essentially takes full control, and he undid the hardening. And I love the way that it was sort of like laid out, by the way. Like, I love the fact that it wasn't just like, because the way that it was said was, I undid all the hardening. Now when you first hear that, you just think, oh well, yeah, the wall, right? It's just the way that it's being said. But when you look at, but when you think about it, it's done all of the hardening, all of it is gone. So everything that made up Reiner's armor is gone. That makes sense why he was saying that his armor. I just assumed that like his armor got shredded in the battle or something, and there was like a, like a sort of a weak spot that he got hit by the wall at, and then therefore that's what caused his injury. But when he undid the hardening, it shredded his whole armor, and then undid obviously the hardening sort of the ball egg thing that was holding Annie. But that's the thing, is like when Gabby is talking to Armin and basically trying to think of everything, like, is there no way you can talk to him? Is there no way you can do this, that, whatever? If you think that, like, because you would have never have thought that he would have the power to sort of just undo the hardening. What else can he do then? You know? Like, is there, because that's the thing, is there something that possibly can be done? I guess not really, because he can only really control anything to do with the Eldians. He can't control what people outside of them think. So really, I don't particularly know of anything that could be done to stop it from happening. You know. The only way I can probably think is like, without it being just like a total genocide, and then at the end there is literally only Eldians left, is like they managed to find some form of, place of their own, like their own paradise, if you will, that's like away from everyone else, like, and they basically just live out their lives. Sort of living under the radar, but then even then, like, I don't think that's very satisfactory either. So I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I'm thinking that it is just what it is a loop, and it all. But then I don't know. I don't know. I'm so intrigued. Because that's the thing. Is like the other thing obviously was the pure Titans, right? So the Titans obviously start going for people, right? And of course, Eren, now being fully connected and whatnot, is essentially he's controlling all of the Colossals, but also like you would think that he would be able to control all the Titans, but he doesn't. Now, I don't. It can't be just as simple as like, oh well, he just didn't think about that. You know what I mean? And I don't. I mean. I don't know if it's a case of him controlling them, like, because there is so many, like, he can only focus on the Colossals, like, and that's it. Like, he doesn't have enough sort of, like, you know what I mean? I don't think it's as simple as that. But the other, like, I mean, these Titans were made by Zeke, so maybe it's just a case of that can't, because they were made by Zeke, that means that, they, Eren just, is unable to control them. Because otherwise they probably would have just followed in line with the Colossals, right? So, yeah. Oh yeah, another thing as well I forgot to talk about in the last episode was the first sort of scene was obviously a scene that we have seen before, but it was when Historia was like a little girl, right? And she's obviously got the book. And she's talking with Freya, and Freya's Historia asks about Ladylike or whatever, right? And Freya basically says like, this girl, right? And she points to Ymir, and that's the thing. It's like what I was talking about before. Is like, it's like them two are just similar. It's like this is something that has happened before, and I guess like when you talk about this show, like the sort of time travel thing is almost like a loop. That like we're coming back around again, like if you think about like the start of everything that happened with, with King Fritz and Ymir, the very the very first time that happened, that it's a loop again. If this is a thing, it is. I guess that's where you can call up Eren and basically say, is he doing the right thing? Obviously not. But how do you turn it around? Because as far as we're aware, the world will just come and kill them off. So what do you do? What do you do? I mean, this is the thing. Like this, you can put this at the feet, I guess, of what's his fucking name? Freaking Willie. I mean, he's the one that convinced all the world to go after them, right? And that in turn basically forced Paradise's hand, and it's like, right, well, if the world's going to be against us, then we're going after all of you. But it's almost like passing the blame of like, it's kind of like a thing of like who started it. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems like, because that's the way that obviously they've. I mean, if you do look at it, it is kind of childlike the way that they sort of go on about it. Always just passing the buck. Oh, well, you started it first. You know what I mean? Your ancestors did this. Your ancestors did that, and so therefore you have to pay the price. But then you go to war to try and it's just fucking hell. I guess it really just shows like how impactful the story is. That it makes you look at how silly war all is, and like how it's so like it should be so preventable, yet it still continues and it still goes on. Yeah, I love that line as well. That a devil in all of us. I love that. That's like the first, like, I guess the first point in the story, I guess, where like where you have two of like essentially different sides who both basically have completely kind of like 180'd in their hatred of each other, and this sort of like the cycle stops, right? And you have the whole thing of Gabby basically accepting that she's the devil or whatever, and then you have what's his it'll take us an age to find the chef dude, basically came out and said that that there's a devil in all of us. It's not essentially just the devil that is within the Eldians, but it's not as simple as, because what has been talked about like this whole time, with like the Marlians basically calling them the devils or whatnot, that the devil is essentially just the idea that because they have this like sort of inherent power that turns them into these giant monsters, that's the devil. But what constitutes what a devil is how someone takes that. I mean, you can have this titan power and all you want, but if you're a person who's willing to, not willing to actually go ahead and, like, kill people. I mean, you could just be a titan shifter that basically, I don't know, does it as a party trick. Like, obviously, you probably wouldn't do it in, the middle of like a house, in a house party. But if you go outside, there's plenty of space, and you could just have one that's chill. I mean, you wouldn't call that person a devil, though, would you? So, it's all about how people are willing to see them, or how people are willing to act with the certain like power thing that they have. There are devils in everyone. You don't have to be an Eldian to be a devil. So yeah, I did like that line, the devil in all of us. Shardis, I'm so glad he came. Like, we've never seen him. We may have seen like in a flashback at once that like he uses his ODM gear, but yeah, he came in to save the day from like all of those. I feel like it was, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it was all the cadets that kicked the living shit out of him, and he still came in like a badass and saved the fuckers. Really, really cool. So yeah, getting to see him fight was awesome. And yeah, I think that's pretty much what I've got. I really enjoyed it though. Really enjoyed this episode. Very visually appealing, and I feel like because to me it was a very much a remembrance sort of episode, and like loads of callbacks to earlier AOT, that like that's what was, and now we're what is. We are at what is now. So going forward, I feel like it's like, well, that's it. We'll have to. I mean, I'm looking at it now. It says, like, you know, now a choice must be made at the bottom there. That must be from the preview or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's what it is. It's like, now where do you go from here? Like, how does, like, what choice really does? What choice do the Eldians do? I mean, you've got Flock, who's always going to be on Eren's side. Other than that, I don't know if there's any other Jaegerists around. I don't know how many there are. I'm sure there's a few, but it doesn't really matter at this point for Eren. Like, Eren doesn't really need the Jaegerists because he's got the Colossals. Like, the Colossals is his army, really. Like, he's kind of like a one-man wrecking crew now with all of his Titans. That's all it is. So, you know, the Jaegers, I don't know, like, because what do you... I mean, because realistically, you would think that all of the Eldians could literally just chill now. Like, they could probably just stay on the island and just let things be what they may be. It's obviously not going to happen like that, is it? I mean, they're not. They're obviously going to get involved somehow. But it's like, what, though? I don't know. It's going to be interesting going ahead. I mean, I don't know. Like, for some reason, like, in my head, I just feel like inevitably it's going to come to... You know what I could see? I could probably see the Eldians trying to stop Eren. And by doing so, rid the whole devil name of them. And then, therefore, peace is made that way. But then... I don't know, man. Because if Eren can see that peace is being made, will he just drop the whole thing? I don't know, man. I don't know. I should stop trying to think about it, because I'll be sitting here forever trying to think of how things could go and whatnot. But anyway, yeah, that is all I've got. So thank you for watching. In the description below, I have links to certain things. One of them is the Discord, so you can get yourself over there if you wish. And I also have a Patreon page as well. So if you do want to support me on Patreon, that'd be very much appreciated. There is a bunch of different tiers and rewards there, like early access gives you access to shows a week early. There's the full-length tier, which gives you access to full-length reactions to all the shows I do. And then there is the exclusive tier, which gives you access to all the full-length movie reactions for all the movies I do. So yeah, that was all I've got. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.